UvaldeRadio.net. Good morning. Once again, Robert Miguel here with you on School Choice Week. Also, next week is Catholic School Week. And time to kind of wrap up our features on various school choice options, private schools here in the Uvalde area. With me on the phone, once again, from Sacred Heart Catholic School, we've got Principal Joseph Olan. Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you for being a part of this again, and we're excited. I mean, I just took a quick glimpse at your website, and man, I gotta say, it looks like it's been revamped a little bit, but I noticed you guys have a full calendar of fun events and fundraisers and get-togethers going on. It's kind of good to see you guys. First of all, the website looks great, but it's nice to see that you guys, despite all the craziness in the world, are kind of moving forward, right?
Yes, definitely. We've got to provide these students with an amazing environment and school culture that actually can distract them away from the craziness of the outside world, outside of school. And students really enjoy coming to school, and you can see it in their faces and their energy in class as well. Sacred
Heart Catholic School has been, if it's not been around the longest, it's definitely up there, right? Are you guys the longest running private school in town?
Correct. Sacred Heart Catholic School has been here since 1913 continuously. Might have been in different buildings, but they have been here since 1913. This is a Teresian school. The Teresian schools have opened the school, and there's always been at least one or more Teresian sisters here working at the school or volunteering at the school. So we've had a long history here in Uvalde County.
Very good. And then let's go ahead and go over your history with the campus. How long have you been there, and in what capacities?
Correct. So I've been with Sacred Heart Catholic School since August of 2020. I've enjoyed my time here. This has been a great school to be at, and we provide a lot of opportunities and a lot of events for these students. So that has been one of the main things here at the school since 1913, always providing a lot of events for the students so they can actually incorporate in the classroom, or they can have experiential learning outside of the classroom.
Very good. Now, I guess, what is as far as curriculum goes, what is it that sets aside Sacred Heart from other, maybe public schools, private schools in the area? Is it the Christ-centered, the religious side of it, or is there anything in particular in the curriculum that sets you guys apart?
Well, this year, we actually are set apart from most schools in the region, and even from other schools in the Archdiocese. We're one of 3 schools in the Archdiocese of San Antonio, and there's 36 schools in the Archdiocese of San Antonio. And we are a STREAM school. That is science, technology, religion, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So this is a multidisciplinary approach when you tackle, particularly in the field of project-based learning. So when you tackle particular projects or standards from the state of Texas, teachers will use multiple disciplines across the curriculum to help the students. For instance, we have First Lego program. They get to use First Lego, but it's educational, and the students aren't just playing. They're learning how to collaborate, build. They're learning systems. And for our 7th and 6th graders, they actually plug in their robotics, the Lego robotics.
Wow.
You plug it in, and they begin to code, so they can actually move the robots because it has a little computer chip in theirs. So it's differentiated from pre-K and up. We also have a greenhouse. We have project-based learning with vegetables and plants, and the students are beginning to learn. They've already harvested from our hydroponics table in our greenhouse. Those 4 different lettuces and 3 different kales. We also have a hybrid martial arts PE program. Twice a week, the students learn a little bit of Taekwondo. Their coach is a black belt in Taekwondo, so they incorporate the standards from Texas creatively in PE. There's no striking of any kind, but there's a lot of discipline and conditioning and strengthening and history of martial arts. When it comes to the classrooms in science, English, and mathematics, we have STREAM lessons across the board. I can talk about this forever, but they use the other disciplines to reinforce what's happening in math or in science in creative ways. And we love for the students to work in groups as well. So our teachers are facilitators. So that means that the students spend more time on hands-on experiential learning than they are. There's very little lecturing. The teachers really want the students to learn as they do, and that's really essential here. And that's how students like to have fun as well.
That's fantastic, especially in light of we live kind of in this cyberspace nowadays where things kind of happen more in the ether out there, in the mystery of the web as opposed to real life. And we've got kids that are literally growing up on social media, and this real life experience, this hands-on approach is really, really refreshing. Now, that, of course, you're battling what we're looking at it as kind of a pandemic here, so there has to be some extra precautions taken, I'm sure. How has that changed, especially that hands-on process in light of the pandemic and all that stuff?
So here at Sacred Heart, we've taken a whole new level when it comes to the pandemic. We're always cleaning and disinfecting. We have a fogging machine. Our students sit in the same exact seat in the morning before school starts, at lunch, and after school in our common areas. The students, we have hand sanitizing stations by all external entrances, and there is hand washing stations in all our classrooms. Wow. So this really sets us apart. Also, we have masks that we're mandated to wear for employees, visitors, and all students. So this has really helped the students understand that it's okay to come to school. It's a safe environment. We do still practice social distancing. Even in PE, they wear masks still, unless they're running outside. If they feel overheated for any reason, which we haven't had any encounters, they're always more than welcome to stop, take a break, drink some water, but there's always social distancing. So the teachers have done a phenomenal job. Now, when they work in groups, say with Legos and they're working with a partner, they're still wearing their masks. They sanitize their hands, and then they work with whatever manipulatives, like the Legos. Uh-huh. And then after they're done, the Legos are sprayed, they're disinfected, they're put away, and then the next day we go through the same process. Or they leave it alone, that's fine, and we fog the classrooms as well. So this really helps with the students. They get to learn in groups and while being in a safe environment, and they understand now. They've also had many lessons at the beginning of the fall semester and spring semester that talks about health, overall health, and about the pandemic, depending on the grade level. So they have a better understanding about their own personal safety and the safety of others in relation to this pandemic.
It sounds like a very like a high level of commitment from your staff, because it used to be we could just all show up and kind of be mindful of germs, but now we're living in a time where we have to wipe down and spray things and this and that. I'm sure that takes a few extra man hours. How has this affected your staffing, and how is that? I'm sure it seems like you must have some really passionate teachers there that are just willing to roll with that.
And you hit it on the head. It's all about the passion, the love for teaching and learning. And yes, it takes a lot more time and a lot more energy. But at the end of the day, they're doing it for the students. They're doing it for the love of the kids. And at Sacred Heart, we've built up such a strong school culture that you don't really feel like, yes, it takes more time away, but you don't sense that it's like a task or something that it burdens you. All the way from our custodian to myself to our secretary librarian, everybody takes a part. It's all hands on deck when it comes to the cleanliness and the safety of our students in our school, and it really shows. And it doesn't seem to bother anyone, actually, because we're doing it for our mission. We're doing it for our vision for Sacred Heart Catholic School, and I think our students appreciate it. And most of our students, especially our older students, they take an active role in disinfecting, and they actually wrote down some rules at the beginning of the year and on best approaches when it comes to disinfecting their own classrooms and who should do it, and there should be a rotation. And they're empowered to keep their school clean. This is their school, and they have a big stake in this school. And I think by empowering students to take a part in that, you're actually instilling in them certain virtues as they get older, so they look at the world through a health lens now, in addition to problem-based learning, and I think that really helps the students.
I think that's fantastic when the students actually become stakeholders. We don't typically think of them, as stakeholders necessarily, but I think that's fantastic as a concept. Now, you mentioned the older students stepping up. What are the age ranges that Sacred Heart Catholic School, caters to?
So we have 3-year-olds in pre-K, and this goes all the way to 7th grade. So we have an amazing. We have amazing students at this school, and a lot of times the grade levels will get combined or mixed when it comes to doing project-based learning, like the plants and the gardening. The project-based learning is 3rd through 7th grade. So the students are in the parish hall in this wide area, and they're all separated. They're socially distanced, and they're all learning about plants, the science behind it. They're learning all the things when it comes to raising plants and being stewards of the environment as well, and vegetables. It's every aspect you can think of. So they do have science. They have a little bit of math, actually, because they want to create their own garden. They have to use math to build a garden, for instance. So math, science, horticulture, and gardening techniques are all incorporated in that project-based learning, and there'll be a project at the very end, which will be 9 weeks from now, where they'll make a presentation when it comes to their particular project in gardening.
Now, Sacred Heart Catholic School obviously is a Catholic church, which is faith-based. Your crest on the website, your logo says "All for Jesus." Let's talk about, I guess, the faith-based side of the curriculum.
So when it comes to the faith-based side, the teachers, any opportunity and every opportunity you have when applicable, they incorporate or integrate the religious aspect of our school. Now, these are the virtues of the Catholic Church that they instill in the students. It's not just about memorizing prayers. It's about understanding the meaning behind prayers and having a love for God and believing in the teachings of Jesus Christ. And this is what's keen for the students. If they live the word of the Bible and the teachings of Jesus, they understand that when it comes to their social emotional development, they'll have a very strong foundation. And they leverage that to actually help themselves when it comes to academic success. And the parents and the families understand this. And this is what the teachers model. And this is what's so wonderful about the school. We talk a lot about academics, but at the heart of it is the religious aspect. And this is where most of our families bring their students here for, because they really want that core. The heart of our instruction actually is the Bible and the teachings of Jesus. But we obviously differentiate that for students based on grade level, so it's easier for them to understand. And as they get older, obviously, then they get introduced to, harder vocabulary, longer prayers, and that way it's a growing. I mean, when you grow in Christ and you grow academically and you tie them together, you're bound to have a very successful student.
Wow. Now, obviously, you're setting these kids up for a great future, laying a great foundation, both, in their faith and, their curriculum. So they age out around 7th grade. Do they kind of funnel into the public school system, other private schools? Where does your typical student usually go after Sacred Heart?
Yes, our students after 7th will be attending the various middle schools in this particular area, I guess, because some will go outside of Uvalde, some stay in Uvalde, some are homeschooled, so it just depends. But they typically will go into a public school in this community or in the surrounding or in the communities that surround Uvalde.
Well, very good. Now, if a parent is interested in enrolling their kid or just checking out the campus, what is that process like? Do you need to go to the website? Do you call in? What's the best way for a parent to get more information and see if they're a good fit?
Well, first and foremost, we're not ones that really just want to say and want people to believe it. We want people to call the school, make an appointment for a free tour by me after school, show them the facilities, show them what they're learning in the classrooms, and let them see for themselves. This is the place to send your child for elementary school and or for pre-K. Now, when it comes after that, then we have registration paperwork here. They can also download online as well at our website, but we prefer to see face-to-face, and we love for the community members to come into the school, especially those with school-age children, to see what we're doing so they'll know it is the best place to send their child. So first and foremost, they should call the school, make an appointment for a free tour, and that's the first step. And I wanted to throw in as well, at the end of this year in April 23rd, we're going to have a major event. It's our gala, our yearly gala, and it's Texas Under the Stars. And I really want people to come out and support our school. And this is a great way to support our school. We have a lot of things auctioned that students make in class, like huge projects that students make in class. We're going to auction those items, and all the monies at the gala that are made are put back into the school for the next year, so it can improve with the curriculum, improve with the robotics program that we've started already, and every other aspect. So there's a lot of things happening here.
Well, very good. And you mentioned the website earlier. That website is shcuvalde.org. That's shcuvalde.org. Again, we're speaking with Mr. Principal Joseph Olan over at Sacred Heart Catholic School, and it's School Choice Week, so we're highlighting that. Also, Catholic School Week is next week. Would you like to give us some details on, I guess you guys are going to celebrate Catholic School Week too, right?
Yes, Catholic School Week begins actually January 30th, this Sunday. We're going to kick off with our students attending Mass at the 12 o'clock Mass at Sacred Heart Catholic Church. And then Monday through Friday, we'll have different events to celebrate. Like on Thursday will be for vocations. Tuesday will be a celebration of the students and their Catholic faith. We'll have I'll be grilling for the whole faculty, staff, and students that day. We'll have music. We'll be having praise and worship towards Jesus. We're going to have a rosary kit making. Every student and staff member will build their own rosaries. We had a very gracious donor donate rosary kits for everyone on campus. We're also going to be doing things for our community. Our students have plans, and teachers have plans to do certain things for our community, which people will be able to see on our Facebook page. So if you want to keep up to date with Catholic School Week with Sacred Heart Catholic School, please not just check out the school website, check out Facebook, our Facebook website, Sacred Heart Catholic School Uvalde, and you'll be able to see all the wonderful things that are happening next week.
Well, Principal Olan, this has been some fantastic, great information, so thank you very much. Is there anything else we need to tie a bow on this whole bad boy?
3 words only, all for Jesus, and that alone should tell people everything we're doing here is all for Jesus. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you so much for this information, sir. Again, the website is shcuvalde.org. Mr. Principal Olan, thank you so much. All right.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great one.
You too, and that's going to wrap it up here for School Choice Week on UvaldeRadio.net.